And welcome to What's On at Cineworld Cinemas. I'm Luke Cohen. This week I'm joined by Ollie Davis. Here's what's coming up on today's show.
We'll be looking at Tom Hardy's comments about wanting Spider-Man in Venom 3.
We'll take a look at what you can check out this weekend, including the Ryan Reynolds comedy Free Guy.
We'll be hearing from Joe Keery about Free Guy.
And we'll take a look at the event cinema we've got coming up next month. But to kick things off today, we're going to talk about Tom Holland's, but Tom Hardy's comments. Is a different Tom in a different Spider-Man role, but Tom Hardy's comments he made to Esquire magazine because he's about to promote Venom 2. Now, Laurie and I talked about Venom 2 a little bit last week, and Carnage, and possible Spider-Man cameos and things like that. So before we get into Mr. Hardy's comments, what are your thoughts and expectations for Venom: Let There Be Carnage?
Well, I'm disappointed that it's called Venom: Let There Be Carnage. Because if this was just 4 years ago, it would be Venom v. Carnage. There'd be verses in there.
Yeah. Well, to put my cards out on the table, I think if they do get this Venom 3 that Tom Hardy's after, they will call it Venom versus Spider-Man.
Oh, that sounds good to me. Thoughts on Venom? I actually really quite enjoyed Tom Hardy's performance in the first Venom movie. And I like how it's a real throwback to an era of movies that do not get a lot of love in a post-Marvel Cinematic Universe world. Like, me and you both, we've talked about it. We've got a disproportionate amount of affection for the Tim Story Fantastic Four movies.
Oh, yeah, absolutely we do. What nostalgic love we have for them. They're barely 90 minutes long. And it is just, here are some superheroes. They've done a superhero thing. See you next time.
What is more naughties than Jessica Alba? Yes. And Michael Chiklis, the guy from The Shield, as the Thing.
Have you got a new metal song that you're going to play over the credits? Yes, please.
When Venom ends, the first movie, it's because I think Eminem even wrote a specific song for it.
He did,
and it was going over the end credits. So I was like, "What? Where am I? Am I a teenager again? I love this." But yeah, so I am into Venom 2, Venom: Let There Be Carnage, Venom v Carnage. I thought it was very well set up in that post-credit scene for the first movie, and I just like Tom Hardy's performance, as weirdly voiced as it is, as weirdly voiced as every Tom Hardy performance is these days. He's got such a charisma about him, and I'm really excited about Woody Harrelson as well, taking on this sort of older, more, sinister Carnage.
Yeah, it is like a very, very creepy performance. We were talking about when the new trailer came out last week, which I thought was far and away better than the first trailer. Because the first trailer, I was talking about this last week, was very much a case of like, here is the wacky relationship between Eddie Brock and Venom. Look, Venom is making breakfast and singing a song. Diddly-dee. It's a bit of a funny thing. But like this one was about like, oh no, but this Carnage character, he's a bit serious. He's a bit scary. He's biting arms and sucking blood. He's a bit of a weirdo. So I'm pretty stoked for it. And, I think that we may get a tease of Spider-Man in this new movie. I think they are going to do quite a bit to set up Venom 3. Tom Hardy has said in this interview with Esquire that while the third film hasn't been greenlit yet, it's basically been banked on the second one being successful. They are, quote, really, really pleased with number 2. Who does number 2 work for is the question, I suppose. Is he working for us?
What? Why are you quoting Austin Powers? Yeah, I know, but what? Just because it's got the number 2 in?
Because he said number 2, and I could have made a Jackass reference, but I went with Austin Powers.
I do like the idea. This is so classic of sort of comic book movie fans of our ilk. We haven't even got Venom 2 yet, and we're like, oh, but we're fantasy booking where they can take the franchise next. So yeah, I guess you wouldn't have Spider-Man in the bulk of the movie, just like you had Carnage in the P-creds. You thinking a Tom Holland appearance at the end?
Or just some sort of like reference, like how at the end of Spider-Man Far From Home, where J. Jonah Jameson just appeared on the screen, you're like, oh my God, like J. Jonah Jameson, the Daily Bugle, this and the other. Basically, you just have like, maybe it's just a newspaper that he has that talks about the wall crawler or your friendly neighborhood Spider-Man or something like that, just to be like a boom. Yeah, Spider-Man's going to be in the next movie.
I don't really know what the plans are writ large for Sony's Spider-Verse, because
They're the same as what they were in 2015, which is just like we're making our own
all of those
Spider-Man
movies,
universe.
we're going to do our own thing, Marvel. Yeah, we can do it too. But it's just like, they all do seem to be very distinct from each other. You know, you've got Venom, you've got, oh my
Morbius.
God, Vampire. Yeah, I just have Vampire in my head.
Vampire.
Morbius. And Into the
The lad from My
Spider-Verse.
Chemical Romance.
Yeah. Are you doing that on
He
purpose?
looks like he's, yeah, I'm doing it on purpose.
But 30 Seconds to Mars.
Yeah, I know. I was doing it on purpose.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, you were. And Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse. So that they've already set that precedent for a crossover with different dimensions in Spider-Verse. But, you know, that feels so tonally and visually different to everything else they've done. But there is a backdoor to start hooking these films up more coherently. But yeah, I was surprised Sony haven't pulled the trigger on that or shot the web on that yet. I imagine it's going to happen soon, though.
Well, I think, if memory serves, I think the deal between Sony and Marvel Studios is not long for this one. Like, I think obviously they had like a set number of films that they were going to do and a set number of cameos and stuff and a set number of Avengers movies Spider-Man was going to be in. Then their plan was they would just take Spider-Man back and just do their own Spider-Man movies without the use of the Avengers and things like that, essentially using the Avengers movies as a backdoor pilot for their own sort of universe that they want to do over here, which we're getting with Venom, Morbius, Kraven the Hunter, which was announced a couple of months ago. So I think that they do want to do this, but this is what Tom Holland had to say about this. Because Tom Hardy, I did it again. Tom Hardy, lest we forget, is a writer on the Venom movies. I think he gets story credit on both of them. So he is very much involved in the creative process of this character.
Well, he does the voices.
Well, exactly. So
he does the voices for it.
This is clearly a project that he is massively into. And he said, quote, "I would be remiss if I wasn't trying to steer any kind of connectivity. I wouldn't be doing my job if I wasn't awake and open to any opportunity or eventuality or be excited by that. Obviously, there's a large canyon to leap to be bridged by one person alone, and it would take a much higher level of diplomacy and intelligence sitting down and talking to on such to take on an arena such as that. Should both sides be willing and it be beneficial to both sides, which, interjecting, it would be, I don't see why it couldn't be. I hope and strongly, with both hands, push eagerly towards the potential and would do anything to make it happen within what's right in business. But it would be foolish not to head towards the Olympic Games if you are running 100 meters. So yeah, I want to play on that field."
So many metaphors. So many metaphors in that long quote. He took the, you're leaping canyons. You're battling in the same arena. You want to play on the field. Because at the start, I was like, he's teasing Secret War. Well, not seriously. I was going to make a joke about Hugh Jackman coming in, from the Hugh Jackman verse. That's how you hook it up a bit more. But he's obviously just watched some Olympics that morning before the interview.
Yes. That's what I was going to say as well.
That's where it comes in at the end.
He was on the phone to Esquire and had to pause his TV as he was watching the 100-meter dash. So he was just, Esquire, was it?
I'm just thinking that we really need to make these connective things happen, like the wall running at the Olympics with the lead chaser climb. I want to play on that wall. We need everyone on BMXs doing tricks.
So I obviously Tom Hardy is playing the game here. I mean, you said comic book fans of our ilk are the sort of people to be like, oh yeah, this is what I want as well, Tom. You're speaking to my wants and needs and desires. So he is very much playing that game, which I think is a very smart thing to do. I also think that it is something that is bound to happen. Tom Hardy saying there, should both sides be willing and beneficial to both sides? There isn't sides to this. It's Sony. It's just a Sony decision that they need to make. And I think that they would be idiots if they do. As I said, they wanted to do this with the Amazing Spider-Man 2. The whole point of that movie was to set up this connected universe of just solo Spider-Man movies. Remember, they had the Black Cat movie planned and all this sort of stuff. This is what they've always wanted. And I think using Venom as the way to kind of like bridge that gap, the two are so intrinsically linked. Spider-Man versus Venom as Venom 3, I think is just like, it's box office gold.
I didn't know Tom Hardy is also a producer on this. I just double checked that. So, you know, he's got a lot of creative sway. That means writer, the lead star, you know, yeah, I think this is definitely going to happen if he's talking about it as openly as that. I didn't know Andy Serkis was directing it.
Oh yeah, he certainly is. Yeah. So expect some like mocap monkeys to like show up at some points.
Yeah, is he gonna he's gonna play all the extras? Everyone in the background is actually Andy Serkis doing different performances.
Well, that's the thing. It's like so Tom Holland was also Tom Hardy.
What is wrong with you? You keep getting my hopes up.
I don't know why I keep getting it wrong. Tom Hardy in that interview with Esquire, he was asked about like Toxin being in the movie and sort of like the fan theories, the Toxin, which is like the really, really evil version of the symbiote, even more eviler than Carnage version of the symbiote. And he was like, you know, you'll just have to wait and see. Like maybe that's what Andy Serkis is. His performance in the movie is going to be actually surprise swerve. I'm the real villain of the movie. I'm the mocap king. I'm going to be one of these symbiotes as well. Out this week is a film I am stoked to see. I'm seeing trailers for it all over the place. I am so in for this. Free Guy is you know me. You have known me for many years now. I am not the biggest Ryan Reynolds fan. However, I love the idea of this movie. I love Taika Waititi. I love Joe Keery. I've really grown to love Ryan Reynolds in these sorts of roles. So I am so stoked for this.
I am a long Ryan Reynolds lover. I mean, I don't want to be that guy, but I liked him before he was cool. 2 guys ago on a pizza place, I've been following Ryan Reynolds, and I thought this guy should be at the top of all of the movies with a very funny YouTube channel as well. I saw it before YouTube was even a thing when I was watching Trouble in the early noughties. And now he's here. Yeah, he's like... The thing about a Ryan Reynolds film is it's not just him in the film. The whole movie takes on his sense of humor. It's kind of like how you get vehicles for comedy stars like Melissa McCarthy. It's a Melissa McCarthy movie from the top to the bottom. Same with Adam Sandler. Like their fingerprints and their style of humor is in every little frame. And you get that with Ryan Reynolds, but it's to this extra degree because it's this quite high concept sci-fi superhero comedy.
Yeah, set within a video game world. He's an NPC that becomes sentient almost through like They Live style, like glasses and stuff. It looks like really, really a lot of fun. I loved the trailer review that he did as Deadpool alongside Taika Waititi as Korg. That really, really made me excited for the movie. And former Cinemania champion Scott Davis saw this very recently and said it was his film of the year. And he is a man who I trust implicitly. So I'm really, really excited for this. And he's not alone in that thought either, because Cineworld hosted the premiere of Free Guy at their Leicester Square cinema, which is one of my favorite cinemas in the whole world. Jodie Comer was there. And the people who were in attendance for that premiere had some very positive things to say, including Sean Keach. Genuinely loved seeing Free Guy last night for the UK premiere. 115 minutes of pure joy. Exactly what you'd imagine.
And L. Tomlinson said so many references for the die-hard gamers that had us cackling like a gaggle of witches. Go check it on the big screen.
And Denise Parkinson said, love this movie. It's a feel-good blast. Don't be a good guy. Be a great guy.
Do you know why this is such a clever title?
Why is that?
The lead character, played by Ryan Reynolds. Do you know what his name is?
Is it just Guy?
It's Guy. It's Guy. It's free guy. But it's smart.
There's also dual meaning to it as well, because I don't know if you know this, but in America, some people would refer to an extra life as a free guy.
Tell me the history behind this interesting fact, please, Luke.
Well, I would do, but instead, let's hear from Joe Keery, who is into the movie. There's really not that much interesting news behind it. It's just different terminology. Like it's Free Guy, Extra Life.
I thought there'd be like, because this inventor did this thing, or there was a guy.
It's a free guy. It's like a free go, basically. Yeah.
Why didn't they rename it for us then? You know, like if Zootopia, if Zootropolis and Zootopia got renamed.
Avengers Assemble and all that. Poor Kevin Feige. I was there for that press conference interview when they kept every question was like, "Why is it called Avengers Assemble over here?" And he was just like, "Oh no, it was Joss Whedon." He was like, "Look, we've given you an extra word. Like, surely this makes the movie better, right?" Anyway, let's get into the point here. We've got Joe Keery sitting down. Joe Keery sitting down with Carla from Cineworld.
Free the NPCs.
So, do you consider yourself a gamer, or did you start gaming for the film?
As a kid, I grew up playing video games a little bit. Nintendo, Pokemon, Zelda, and these days, not really as much. But I have an understanding of kind of online gaming. I've played Call of Duty, here and there and stuff. So, I feel like I had an insight into the gaming community.
So you didn't use it as an excuse to kind of start gaming again and get all the video games?
No. I think if I did that, I would just be doing that all the time.
This film is actually coming out in UK, not just in IMAX, but also in 4DX. Are you aware of what 4DX is?
In what? No, I don't know what that
4DX.
is.
So
No.
4DX, it's basically, you've got moving seats that move in time with kind of what's happening, the action on screen. You've got water spraying, you have scents coming out, so in line with what the action on screen. You've got like wind blowing, you've got lightning, bubbles, snow, all sorts of stuff.
What?
Yeah. So I was wondering, what do you think, like what kind of scenes could be really epic in that kind of format from this movie?
Oh my God. That's crazy. Yeah, I guess there's a bunch, none of which I can think of in this moment. I'm trying to think of my own. I mean, mine are mostly just taking place within Tsunami. So cool. I would love to see a movie that way. I feel like it would be amazing to watch, like Inception or something like that, in something like that.
Yeah, we've launched 4DX in the US now, so, keep an eye out for them.
Also out this week is The Courier, starring Benedict Cumberbatch. British thriller. It looks pretty fun, this one.
I love a spy film, and this has been incepting my head for about 2 weeks now, because whenever I walk out my house to get to the tube, I pass a petrol station, and on that petrol station wall is a poster for The Courier, and it's got Benedict Cumberbatch, and there is his big, lovely moustache. And I keep thinking,
moustache.
I'm gonna get one. Going to get a moustache.
All right, but this is something that you and I have talked about a lot over the years. Because you remember, like, it was a couple of years ago when you did that music video and you did grow a moustache for it.
Yeah,
it's really suited you as well. I think you looked really, really good with it. But unfortunately, your partner did not agree.
No, I don't think, girlfriends don't like moustaches. Name of your indie band. That's a good name.
That is a good name. I like it.
Yeah. Might go better, because I've been doing really hard work making these hairs grow. So I could, maybe it looks even better.
Yeah, because I don't know if I could just pull up if I just had the moustache. It might be because I'm bald now, it might not work as much. But if I just had just the tash, what would you think?
I don't know if this works. I don't know if you put in your palm over your chin makes me forget that you've got hair there. Just looks like you're being weirdly coy about something.
So anyway,
go and see The Courier.
Check out The Courier. Go see The Courier. It's out this weekend. An excellent mustache on Benedict Cumberbatch. Also out. You can
mustache break. We should do a mustache break for Benedict Cumberbatch.
You can also check out this week Paw Patrol, The Suicide Squad in 4DX and IMAX, Jungle Cruise in 4DX and IMAX, The Croods 2 A New Age, Space Jam A New Legacy, and Spirit Untamed. I had The Suicide Squad as my pick for basically the last couple of weeks of what to go and check out. Free Guy is going to be my new pick because that's the film I'm going to be checking out this weekend. But if you haven't seen it already, and I'm going to say this until it's off the screen, go see The Suicide Squad because it's awesome.
I was on the train to go see it last Wednesday, and I got pinged, and I had to turn back. I was fuming. I did the right thing, but it hurt. And I nearly didn't do the right thing. That's how much I wanted to see the Suicide Squad. I nearly didn't tell anyone, but no, you got to do it.
You're a good guy. Don't be a good guy. Be a great guy.
Be a free guy.
Yeah, but you weren't a free guy, are you? Because you were trapped in your house. But still, you could, you could almost be a free guy.
That was a lockdown.
You'd be a free guy soon. But before we get into the pre-booking and the event cinema, Corrupt FM dropped by Cineworld in Leicester Square to talk about their new movie, People Just Do Nothing, big in Japan. So let's see what happened when they dropped by.
From Brentford to Hollywood!
Oh, who's that? Who's that?
That's you.
Yeah.
Every time we come in here, he does it.
Yeah. Beats, do the pose. Point at me.
Oh no, wait, it's gone. Let me swipe it.
What are you doing?
I don't need to swipe it. Switch it! We're just gonna watch our brand new film, People Just Do Nothing, big in Japan.
And we've seen it in the cinema, because that's the best place to go and watch it. Because they've got air conditioning, a big screen, surround sound, and you're allowed to eat popcorn.
So you can see it as many times as you like with the Cineworld Unlimited card.
So go and watch People Just Do Nothing big in Japan, bare times using that card now.
Wait, if they go see that on that card, does that mean we still get paid, properly? Because
that's a good point, actually.
To be honest, I just said yes to everything, so I need to check that.
And you can pre-book your tickets now for People Just Do Nothing big in Japan. A film that I don't know a huge amount because I haven't seen People Just Do Nothing, like the TV show. I've heard that it's very, very good though. But I really like Asim Chowdhury because he was awesome on Taskmaster. And the clip that we just saw then made me laugh a lot. And the trailer that I've seen for it made me laugh as well. And it's made me want to go and watch the TV show and therefore go and watch the film. What about you?
Yeah, same. My sister's been going on at me for weeks. Like, oh, are you going to watch it? Are you going to watch it? I was like, I've never watched the TV show. But it is that part of the cinema release schedule. It's August. A UK, English, British comedy series is going to get a movie adaptation. So we've had it like In-Betweeners was the first one really that kicked it off. When was that? Like
Kevin and Perry Go Large. I would
no,
like
but
to
that was ages ago. Of course, that was the first one, but I think In-Betweeners kicked off this like unbroken run until, of course, last year, obviously. So yeah, a rich tradition.
And it's also following one of my favorite tropes of when you take a British comedy show and you put it on the big screen, which is that take it out of Britain and put it in another country. And I went to Japan a couple of years ago and I loved it there. And it feels like this might be my way of being able to just go back there for a little bit. So you can pre-book your tickets for that. That's out on the 18th of August, the same day as a movie I'm very, very excited for. I'm going to be seeing this at the Unlimited screening this Saturday. G.I. Joe Origins Snake Eyes.
So Snake Eyes is one of the cool characters.
Oh, it's the coolest character. He wears
the coolest character, yeah.
And he has swords.
Yeah, cool.
Henry Golding's a very handsome chap. Like this film's got everything. I don't know what more you want. Now, one of the great things about Cineworld Cinemas is that it's not just movies that you can go and check out there or rent out. So you can go play Super Smash Brothers on the big screen and stuff, which Laurie and I have talked about at great length. It's also event cinema, where you can go and sort of be part of live experiences, but on the huge big screens of the cinema. And we've got a bunch of them coming up towards the end of August and into September. Andre Rieu's 2021 summer concert will be on the 28th of August. The National Theatre Live will present a 2017 recording of Follies on the 2nd of September. Mick Fleetwood and Friends will be on the 7th of September, and Walden will be on the 8th of September. I really like these sort of event cinema things, and as a Fleetwood Mac fan, yeah, I'm probably going to want to go and see Mick Fleetwood and Friends.
It's cultured. It's so culture on a screen.
Oh, Daddy. Well, this is it, because people, look at me and be like, well, you're a basic bitch, aren't you? Because you want to go see the G.I. Joe movie with the Snake Eyes. You don't want to go see a proper film. And I was like, yeah, but I'm also going to go see Mick Fleetwood and Friends, aren't I? Maybe I'll even go see the 2017 recording of Follies. How about them apples?
You've got layers. They can't pin you down into a stereotype.
Exactly. I'll walk into that screening and people would be like, what's this guy doing here? Is he in the wrong screen? And I'll look at them and I'll go, no, I'm cultured. Sit yourself down. Know your role. But don't conform to a role. Go to any screening you want.
But then also do a Fleetwood Mac dance. They had a TikTok success.
Did they really? I don't really know much about TikTok.
8 months ago.
I didn't know that Fleetwood Mac was out 8 months ago.
You know the hey, na 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 thunder, the one that they covered from The Cause. There's a guy. Have you not seen this? It was everywhere.
I haven't. No.
It's a guy skateboarding along, and he's drinking a fizzy pop drink, and he's miming along to it, and he looks like the coolest guy.
I think that's why you and I will never be big on TikTok, because I don't think I know what you're supposed to do to make it work.
You got to do a dance, haven't you? Yeah.
Yeah, I know, but everyone's doing dances, surely. Like, what have you've got to do something that makes you stand out. Like, he was on a skateboard with a fizzy pop drink. So, like, because no one has been on a skateboard with the fizzy pop drink listening to Fleetwood Mac, like, that was the 3 combination thing. You've got to find, like, that trilogy of things to add, I guess. And lastly, before we get out of here, yes, I'm going to plug it one more time. Snake Eyes G.I. Joe Origins is got its unlimited screening this Saturday. So tomorrow, in fact, by the time you're watching this. So, Ollie Davis, come on. It's time to get on board. It's time to get on board the G.I. Joe train.
Okay, you've convinced me.
Yeah. Thank you so much for watching this edition of What's On at Cineworld Cinemas. You can check out any of the movies and book your tickets for them using the links in the video description down below. Please also check out the full interview that Carla did with Joe Keery and Corrupt FM dropping by the Cineworld Cinemas in Leicester Square. I've been Luke, and that has been my good friend Ollie Davis. Next week will be a slightly different show, because we are getting back together. The band is back together. It's a new look for What's On, and we're very excited. We'll see you then.